I ran to the front desk where I met this woman who was very mean to me. She even called me a loser. So that's my boss. He has a clock for a head and the same posture as me. He also takes a decade to walk off screen. The next level had 2 Cherry Cafes. Why are there 2? Are they clones? In this video, I played Tiranong Game Style Stress You Out in the office. Will I be able to finish my job without getting stressed out? Or will I fail and get fired? Well, let's find out by jumping into 4-minute work week. So we only have 4 minutes to complete all these tasks, and I couldn't even fully read the list because the timer had already started. I tried to clock in but I didn't have my ID. I looked around for a bit and found the file. Then I went down here to find my ID, so I rushed back to the clock card machine. And it took me a while to clock in because I didn't know what I was doing. I went back here to grab the file, then I went over here to find some oven mitts. I ran to the front desk where I met this woman who was very mean to me. She even called me a loser. I was finally able to find the cabinet where I tossed in the file. I also found this wrench, which I threw away to grab this file that I couldn't put into this cabinet. I tried so hard to put it in, but it didn't fit. I then went further and found another open cabinet, so I quickly ran there to put this stupid piece of paper in it. I picked up my password from the floor, then I used it to open my computer, and I was able to complete another task. I checked every email that burst out of my computer. Then once that was done, I booked it upstairs. Upstairs was where I found this dying plant and a watering can, which I immediately grabbed to fill it up in the water dispenser downstairs. After filling it up, I then had to slowly get back upstairs because the can was very heavy and that slowed me down. I was trying my best to get up to the plant to water it. I was able to do it and I got a flower as a reward. So I ran back to the front desk to flirt with my coworker, and by flirt, I mean toss the flower at her, and she loved it. I then got this weird heart. So I went down here to throw it at this woman. Then I went further down to find this giant rat, who I tossed my undying love at. That didn't work, so I went back to grab this wrench to repair the broken machine that I found upstairs. I only had 17 seconds left though to get back to it. I still tried my best to run back to the busted printer. Even after accidentally going downstairs, I was still able to make it and fix the printer, and once I was done, I lost. Anyways, let's go on to the next game. But before I move on, if you're enjoying this video so far, then leave a like and subscribe. It really helps me out. Anyways, let's go on to the next game. Next game is Day in the Office. Anyways, let's begin. Alright, so I arrived at this very dark office, and I tried to escape, but I couldn't because the door was locked. So I went over here to this bulletin board to find that it was too dark to read. I decided to go over here to find a broken clock. And then I couldn't move as this thing appeared. It was a tall, shadowy figure that crept closer to me as I was stuck, unable to move. You can see my mouse frantically moving as I tried to escape this thing. Then he turned on the lights.
My dearest apologies, I must have forgotten to turn on the lights. I assure to you that none of my employees work in the dark. Anyways, my name is Clockwork, I'm the CEO of this company, Chronos Inc. Since it's your first day here, I'd like for you to settle in. Walk around and take some time to introduce yourself to your coworkers. And if you have any questions, I'll be in my office.
So that's my boss. He has a clock for a head and the same posture as me. He also takes a decade to walk off screen. Anyways, once I was done, I walked around the office to meet my coworkers. I met Simone, who seems nice. I asked her if the boss looked a bit funny, and she said not to be rude and not judge people based on their appearance. I then asked her about the schedule. We work Monday through Thursday, with a break on Friday. We also have a potluck on Thursday, which sounds fantastic. I then spoke to this guy, but they didn't want to talk because it was Monday. The elevator was right next to him, but it was broken. The keypad that was nearby was meant to unlock it. I also found a nearby technician trying to fix it, but apparently the part that was needed to completely repair it wasn't delivered yet. I then went out to Clockhart's office. He asked me if I met the other coworkers, then told me that Simone was a valuable part of the company. I then looked at the bulletin board, and it was the main gimmick of this game. I didn't realize it until later though, as I decided to move this pin over here. I then spoke to Clockhart and asked him what the company did. Apparently, we solved past problems and ensured that no future problems occur. He also mentioned that it was easy to lose track of time in the company. He then talked about the calendar on the bulletin board, along with the pin which I just moved. After that, I asked him about the calendar, and he answered that a 4-hour work week will help with productivity. He also mentioned that he got rid of the weekends because it was cutting the profits of the company. That's pretty weird. Once I was done, I moved the pin again to Friday. Remember that along with the fact that we don't work on Friday? I then went back to the office, which was now changed. It was now dark, with no one inside. What the heck happened here? I went back to Clockhart, who said it was Friday and that everyone had the day off, so both the pin and the calendar allowed us to time travel. With that realization, I decided to go to Wednesday. This day was rainy, which I confirmed by looking out the window. I also found Simone, who said that the rainy days are her favorite, which I agree with. She then started to ramble about her childhood along with her work. I didn't realize that this game would be much better in a one-random game video, so I decided to move on to the last game. Hey, Future Dragon here. I just recorded this game for a one-random game video, and it's much crazier than I expected. There are definitely some hidden stuff, alongside some horrifying secrets that was revealed in that video, so stay tuned for that. Anyways, back to the video. Last game's Dave needs his coffee, not Chatty Cafe. Anyways, let's begin. So this game is like Pac-Man. We have to collect all the coffee beans, and avoid Chatty Cafe as best as we can. Luckily, she decided to go to the complete opposite direction, so I was quickly able to grab a lot of coffee beans, but once I collected all the coffee beans, I had to go closer to her to get some more. I almost ran into her, but I managed to dodge her. She was now chasing me though, so I had to run very quickly. I missed some coffee beans over there, but I will go back to them later on. Luckily, she just stayed at the upper right corner, but she did go down to where I was at. I was able to get the beans that I missed. Now I just needed to get the small amount left. I was able to collect all of them, and I got to the coffee machine, where I was able to make some coffee. The next level had 2 Chatty Cafes. Why are there 2? Are they clones? This one immediately went for me, but I managed to avoid her. Also, the layout of the level is different from the previous level, and the fact that there were 2 cafes really made it difficult to grab all the beans. I did have a close call when one of the cafes got close to me, but I was able to get out of there alive. I didn't grab the last couple of coffee beans left. Then I booked it to the coffee machine, where I made more coffee. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, then leave a like and subscribe. It really helps out my channel. And if you want to watch more of my content, then click any of the videos on screen. Anyways, adios.